Welcome to my channel. The seventh Imam Musa ibn Jafar al-Kazim, as born in Medina on 7th Safar 128 Hijri 10.11, 745 AD. Died in Baghdad, Iraq 25th Rajab 183 Hijri 4.9.799 AD. Period of imamate was 35 years. Imam Musa ibn Jafar was born during the struggle between the Umayyads and the Abbasids. He was only 4 years old when Abul Abbas Safa, the shedder of blood, came to the throne as the first Abbasid caliph. For 20 years he was under the authority of his father, who died 10 years before the end of the long reign of Mansur. The imamate of the seventh Imam extended through the 10 remaining years of the Caliphate of Mansur, and included the 10 years of the rule of Mahdi, 1 year and some months of Hadi, and about 12 years of the reign of Harun al-Rashid. Thus for 35 years he was the Imam. He held this coveted distinction as the longest period of imamate of the 11 Imams. With 6 brothers and 9 sisters, Imam Musa grew up in a large family. Ismail, the oldest brother, died at a young age, and Musa was chosen by divine providence to succeed his father as the Imam. There were those among the followers of the 6th Imam who thought that imamate should be hereditary and therefore the eldest son of the 6th Imam should succeed. They misunderstood the whole concept of imamate, which was neither hereditary nor mandatory for any one person. It was divinely selected, and the Imam at his deathbed reveals the name of the next Imam. The Abbasid caliphs were always on the alert with this distinctive source of imamate, and our seventh Imam was fully aware of this danger. The caliphs were on the alert to discover any real or imaginary disloyalty with the Imam or his followers, and they would immediately put them under arrest. This natural anxiety, however, does not appear to have seriously interrupted his life as an Imam. He continued to disseminate Quranic teachings as his father Imam Jafar al-Sadiq used to do through the Islamic schools opened in Medina during the life of the 5th Imam. Ibn Khalakan related that Caliph Mansur saw in his dream Imam Ali who was reciting the verse from the Quran, "O Muhammad, were you ready therefore, if you had been put in authority, to commit evil on the earth and to violate the ties of blood?" Mansur sent for his favorite companion Ibn Yunus at night and told him of his dream. He then said, "Bring me Musa ibn Jafar." The Imam Musa ibn Jafar was brought in all the way from Medina to Baghdad. When he arrived, Mansur embraced him and said to him, "Abul Hassan, I have just seen in a dream Ali ibn Abi Talib who was reciting this verse. Give me your assurance that you will not revolt against me or against any of my children." Imam replied, "By Allah, I have no such intentions." The caliph then gave him 1,000 dinars and restored him to his family in Medina. This story gives us some idea how these Abbasid caliphs were so afraid of the Imams of Ahlul Bayt that in spite of their total lack of evidence for any kind of revolt against their earthly power, they would not leave them alone. From time to time the Imams were brought in from Medina, kept in Baghdad either on house arrest or inside prisons under the most difficult of conditions. But it was the Imams' great divine characters that managed to keep them going in the most severe of conditions. It is because of these uncertain times that the Imam said, "How base is the world for a people, unless God give them joy, and how great is this life, if God is not angry with them." Total submission to the will of God in all circumstances. It was widely known that Imam Musa ibn Jafar had been given powers of healing. Once he was passing by a house and heard little children weeping. He inquired as to why they were crying. He was told that they were orphans and their mother had just died and now they had no one to look after them. He went inside the house, made 2 prostrations and prayed to God for her life. Moments later the woman stood up well and in good health. People who saw this and cried out, "Behold, it is Jesus, son of Mary." Once Harun al-Rashid was visiting Medina. He went to the mosque of the Prophet near his grave and said, "My salams to you, O cousin of our fathers." Imam Musa was there, who saluted the grave of the Prophet with the words, "My salams to you, O our grandfather." At this al-Rashid was disconcerted and went away angry. This occurrence was sufficient to explain his first summons from al-Rashid to come to Baghdad. There he was kept in prison. But after nearly a year in prison, Harun saw in a dream that an Abyssinian slave was rushing towards him with a javelin and telling him to release Musa ibn Jafar or he will slay him. Harun immediately called the head of the prison and told him to release the Imam and give him 30,000 dirhams. When this man reached the door of the prison, he found Imam was waiting for him and welcomed him, saying how quickly he had come to release him. The man said, "How did he know?" Imam replied, I saw the Holy Prophet in my dream who told me to recite these words and then I will be released from prison for I had been put here unjustly. The man asked what were those words. Imam replied, O thou who hearest every voice, O thou who lets no opportunity escape, O thou who clothes the bones with flesh and who wilt raise them up after death, I invoke thee by thy holy name, and by that great and splendid name which is treasured up and closely hidden, by that name which no created thing shall ever know, O thou who art so mild and whose patience is never equaled, O thou whose favors never cease and cannot be numbered, set me free. Masudi, Maruj el-Dahab. So you see what happened. The superintendent of prisons was flabbergasted and released the Imam immediately, organized an escort for him to take him to Madinah. Thanks for watching. Subscribe channel for more videos.